Hi folks, welcome back to my channel. This is Balsamic Moon Tarot and I'm here with another pick a card reading for you. Today we're going to focus on money, finances, any advice or predictions for you. So let's get started. I'm going to start by selecting 3 cards for each pile. I have this oracle deck here, which we'll be using. And if you can hear noise in the background, I apologize, but hopefully it's not too distracting. So I have one card already out. Let's see, what are the cards for today? What are the piles we need for today for money, finances, advice, and predictions? There's another one. And the third card, please. Pile number 3. I feel like it's actually this card. Okay, great. So, the cards for today are Oracle card number 12, Unfold Your Own Myth. Card number 6, Receive All Things. And card number 3 is Easy Does It. Interesting. So let me actually zoom in and see if that is a better perspective here. Here are your 3 piles. Pick whichever one that you're drawn to the most, and feel free to click ahead to the timestamp for your reading in the description below. Okay, see you there. Hello pile 1, welcome to your reading. This is your pick a card reading for money and finances. Any advice, any predictions? You selected the card Unfold Your Own Myth, and I didn't make like one pile. I just kind of left the cards the way they fell here as I was going through a bunch of oracle cards and a few tarot decks here. So let's go ahead and turn these around and see what we get for you in terms of a message from your guides today. The Sacred Destiny Oracle deck wanted to give me 3 cards, so I think that is interesting and very exciting because the first card is success. There's a train rolling by too now. Really sorry if you cannot hear my voice too well, so I'm just going to pause. And of course there's construction as well. Give me one moment. Let me see what I can do to minimize that. Okay, that should be much better. Interesting that all this noise happened as I pulled your success card. I have some thoughts on that, but let's pull the next cards here. We have protection. Okay, let me just scooch everything over. We have truth, another tree in this card. And this has the image of wind passing through. And you can see the motion blur of the leaves and the grass. There's a very strong wind coming through, perhaps a storm about to blow through. So with truth, there is something probably a bit shocking here as well. Next we have the I Ching Oracle deck. Liaison. Wow. Pretty incredible synchronicity here. This depicts a tornado coming through fields. So there's definitely a a swift change coming your way, perhaps even information that might be shocking or might make you feel a bit blindsided, but we're going to unpack that. So let me just put this down for now and scoot everything over. For your tarot card, we have the Page of Cups. Very cute, very pretty. Much more of a gentle energy than Liaison. We also have here the Three of Wands, Experiencing. This is the Osho Zen Tarot. We have the, I believe this is the King of Swords, Healing, or the King of Cups, rather. And last but not least, we have another oracle card. You are about to shine. Very cool. Very interesting. So I feel like I am already getting a lot of messages with this. First of all, I think a few of you, at least a few of you, are definitely doing something creative, something that requires style, personal branding, personal expression, creative expression. Unfold your own myth. So there's a very strong vision or image that you're projecting here, and it is effective. If you have not seen the results yet, I think the results will be coming just around the corner, where the impact you have with whatever messaging, branding, or promotion that you're doing, the impact you have is incredibly successful here. We have success, protection, and truth. So I think that you've been able to experiment a bit. You've been able to try something new that maybe you didn't feel comfortable doing before, and it's succeeding, and you're not getting the kind of pushback or criticism that you might have been afraid of. Because I see here with the Page of Cups that you're someone who's quite vulnerable on one level. You have a soft spot, you have a tender heart, and it's not easy for you to share certain things about yourself. And yet there's such a creative impulse in what you do here. So I know that is not quite talking about money specifics or finance specifics, but I think the first message here is indeed that being yourself, being who you are, following your imagination, your creativity, is indeed going to open up the flow of money in your life, the flow of abundance. And if that resonates with you, if that's something you've been wondering about, let this be an affirmation for that. The other message I'm getting here has to do with some kind of change or information coming your way. I feel it very strongly with the Truth card, and with the Liaison card. What I'm getting is that there is a person who is going to bring this information to you. This person may be someone that you're sort of hesitant to trust, because either you see them as being competitive, like a competition, a source of competition, or some kind of threat. However, I do think there is a message here that even if that person is not so much trustworthy, the information they have is important. Like whatever they're expressing or whatever information they're sharing is still very important here in terms of your money and finances. So it could be that they're sharing a market trend or something about, a key client. Like it could be something in the business world that is important to you, or it could even be something about your own your own practices that they're sharing here. I don't see it so much as criticism. I see it just being very blunt, like a bit like kind of out of left field. You weren't expecting it, but now now I think it's just important to keep your ears and eyes open to key information. I think there's a different message here related to that. And it does have to do with how your work opportunities are shaping up. So far I'm not getting so much strong like money and finance messages. I'm getting more about how you're positioning yourself in your career, how you are networking even in relation to what you do, how you're getting the word out. These are all important things that you should keep doing if you're already doing it. And if you're not doing it, if you're hesitant to do it, this is the advice of, definitely going in that direction. The Three of Wands with the King of Cups, and you are about to shine. I think there's a message here about how you're going to develop strong connections with people that are very sincere. And I think people are going to really gravitate towards, something you do. Again, it could be creative, but it could also be a healing practice. It could be some form of therapy. I think that you're building up a lot of experience on this front. You're going to get more clients. You're going to get more job opportunities to do the work you do. Yeah, and it really is very positive here, what this is predicting, because it's basically saying, you might feel like a Page of Cups, but you're indeed a King of Cups. You might feel like somebody who has very little to offer, or who is not very experienced or wise or something, but in fact you are very wise, you are very experienced, and you're going to see this reflected in just how many people are drawn to you, how many people are magnetized to your offerings. So yeah, that's very positive. I'm going to see how much advice or predictions I could get with regards to just abundance. I feel like this is not so much about finances as it is about career growth. Seven of Swords, okay. It's possible you've been feeling like you had to do a lot of work on your own recently. Maybe even budgeting. I'm hearing that, like maybe you've had to figure out, work in a tight budget, and you feel like no one really supported you on that front, and you had to do it mostly alone. Like you had to make something great with a very limited budget. Or you had to make do, you had to be a bit scrappy. Can I get more cards, please? Anything from this deck? Is there any card from this deck? Let's see what that is. Okay, we'll start here. So, the Seven of Swords, the Two of Cups, the Six of Wands, and the Three of Swords. Okay. For this card, we have the Four of Cups. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is that it is possible that you have a relationship, or you ending a relationship that was impacting your finances greatly. I am seeing separation because I keep getting drawn to the Seven of Swords card, and with the Three of Swords, the 7 plus 3 makes 10. So I do feel like there's a cycle that has ended. I do feel like, and again, this is not for your message if this doesn't click for you, but if you are feeling like everything is on point here, this is your message. And so the message I'm getting here is that I do see a relationship that has either ended or come to some kind of ending in its own, within the relationship. Like you've made a decision to do something or save money on something on your own, right? So maybe you're still in the relationship, but there's in some way in which you've left the idea of working as a team on something. Like you've decided to go rogue in a sense, or do something separate from the relationship. I feel like, these cards with the Two of Cups and the Six of Wands, I feel like you did have, you feel like you're kind of leaving on a good note. Like it's not so much that there's pain or betrayal here. It's more like feeling like the best that it's ever been you know, you had a moment of, oh, this is as good as it gets. This is as good as it's going to get. You've had that moment, that realization that even at its best, the relationship is somehow disappointing or limiting you here. So with the Four of Cups, I do think there's an emotional balance being reached, even though it's not, you're not thrilled about the situation. I do think that wherever whatever you end up, what the result will be in making this decision to be more independent, the result will be that you are less emotionally vulnerable. You know, the emotional roller coaster will slow down, and you'll feel like you're finally a little bit more stable. And that emotional stability is key here, because there is some kind of swift change, or even trade winds. I keep hearing, like, it's not so much that you and what you're doing and your career and your finances are going to be shaken up. It's not like the reality is going to be shaken up. It's more that the news or information or message that you get is going to be surprising. And I think that you can take advantage of that, and you will take advantage of that. What is the information what is the truth being shared? What is the truth being shared? How much can we know right now? What can you share with us, please? What is truth? Clarify truth. Six of Cups. Okay, interesting. So we have the Six of Cups, and we also have a Six of Wands here. So I think that you will get information regarding something creative or personal to you. So I think something that's dear to your heart is going to find an audience. I think what the information is that information about you is actually going to get around, and it's going to happen in the best way possible. There's like a word of mouth vibe I'm getting here. So word of mouth about what you're doing is getting around. And what I think is interesting here is that the people who are spreading this news are not necessarily the people you would expect. It's like, it could be people who you consider your competition, but it turns out that what you're doing is so good, so effective, that they're getting the word out for you because they can't help but talk about you. It's like the gossip mill, the rumor mill is sort of working in your favor. Okay, wow, not getting really money, but getting more career here. The moon, yeah. So I do think we're not going to get so much information about money and finances as we're just getting what we get with what we're getting with your career, because I do think the advice right now is so strongly about really having confidence and faith in what you're doing, and not getting sidetracked, distracted, you know, not losing focus. With the moon and the Seven of Pentacles, we see that there's still so much brewing. There's still so much that is just starting to get, just starting to develop results. So the results, there's so many results here that are not yet seen, not yet known. And even though there's unknowns, you have invested, or you have put in a lot of work that is going to definitely be fruitful. I do see a resonance with the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. So the way in which you've decided to do something on your own, you've decided to do something either a bit out of the norm, unconventional. Maybe it's even made people a bit, you know, maybe it's even weirded some people out because it just seems a little unconventional. The way you've done that is actually having positive results, positive impact, especially on your long-term future, your financial prospects in the future. So keeping what you're doing going, but also having an eye for that long-term goal is key here. With the moon, you know, your emotional, the emotional aspects of what you're doing are still very prevalent here. I think that day to day you still have difficulty kind of stabilizing your moods. You know, you might be very fretful one day, and then the next day be very confident, very, very self-assured. So I do think there's a message here that the most important thing is just to remember that if you do a little every day, you're still growing the positive results, right? It's like the Seven of Pentacles, I always think about farming. It's about delayed gratification. Like, you don't have to get it all done in one day, but if you just do a little bit each day, the results will wow you, because when the harvest comes in, you know, when you all your hard work pays off, it's like, it's just astounding, all the things that are accomplished. So again, you may not see results every day, but it's important that you make an effort every day, okay? That's the message. There's a lot going on here, pile one. I think, I hope this was helpful, and I hope that, you know, again, this wasn't so much about money and finances I intended, but it is very much tied to your money and your finances, because it's about how you've been doing so much to survive here. Like, you've been thriving, right? It's about how you've identified the ways in which you thrive. And what's key here is to just keep going in that direction. Keep having faith that if you follow your heart, if you follow your own, you know, myth, right? Like, if you follow your vision, and your dream here, that it will continue to reap positive results for you. The key is to just, again, like, be very confident in what you personally have to offer. Don't let, you know, someone else's hate, for lack of a better word, don't let the haters distract you. And even in if there's a close relationship, if someone who is a partner or someone you trusted turns out to be not so supportive, that's okay, because you have everything you need to succeed here. You don't need someone else to constantly pick you up or constantly be there. Like, you have it within you. You can do this on your own, independently. You know, it may not be as quick as you want, but you can still do this. You can still accomplish what you want. Okay, so pile one, that's your message. I wish you the very best, and take care. Hello, pile two. Welcome to your reading. You selected Receive All Things. It is an oracle card numbered 6. It has a beautiful bird right here, as well as flowers and butterflies. With the green, I'm definitely getting a strong message about abundance and flow, positive flow. So let's see what the other cards have to say about this. We have courage. Wow. Okay. Number 48, puppet. Another oracle card, puppet. 9 of Swords. Okay. I do feel like there's something that's been worrying you, concerning you. Breakthrough. Wow. Look at that. What a beautiful card. Numbered 29. We have the 5 of Wands, totality. This is the Osho Zen Tarot. Wonderful inner voice. This is the same major arcana number as the High Priestess. In this deck, it's called the inner voice. Wonderful. So this is about your intuition. We have the 5 of Swords. The Prince, or the Knight of Swords. You see the synchronicity here with these black and white tiles mirroring the black the black and white tiles here as well. Also another Swords card. We have the Knight of Cups. Beautiful. And we have the Queen of Cups. So wow, amazing. We have abundance. See, wonderful. right here under the inner voice. Beautiful resonance there with the deep blue of the deep ocean blue here underneath this inner voice card, which also is surrounded by blue as well as dolphins, and the crescent moon shape of what looks to be the goddess of fertility. Beautiful. Okay, last but not least, we have another oracle card, Mask. I actually want to place this here for some reason, the last spot that's kind of open. So let's do that. Okay, pile number 2. Receive all things. This is interesting. I just need one moment here to collect my thoughts. Okay, I got a very specific message, so this will definitely not be for everyone. But I do feel like one person is being offered a lot of money, or a sum of money that they feel is a lot. And you're being offered this money, whether as charity or as an investment. So either or. But you're being offered this money and you're very anxious if you should receive it. You're also very excited about what this money can do for you, and everything is sort of telling you to take it, move on, go forward. Let this be a huge moment for you where you finally got the finances you need to do what you have been wanting to do, right? Like you have a business and you can scale it up to the level that you've always wanted it to be now that you have this investment. That's just one example. But either way, you're getting the support and you're very hesitant to take it. And I feel like the hesitation is coming from somewhere really personal to you. It is something deep-seated within you that that is an issue you've sort of not had to confront or address. You know, it's an issue about receiving love, receiving approval even. So this is a breakthrough moment for you, because I think that when you examine the ambivalence of your feelings here, you are going to you are going to reveal something incredibly personal about you that you just haven't had a chance to explore yet. I see all this because with breakthrough, mask, courage, puppet, it's like you've been going through the world with I'm trying to find the right word for this. You've been conforming to the expectations of the world, and we all do this to some extent. But I think in your case, you really haven't had that self-awareness. You know, you thought it was natural to feel unnatural in a way. You thought this is how everyone feels, like everything is a bit forced, everything is a bit of a pretense, or, you know, just a bit contrived, like just feeling like there's a mold and you're supposed to fit the mold. You haven't really questioned that. You haven't really rebelled against that up until this point in your life. So I do think that this breakthrough moment for you is having you examine like, wow, I can question the way we are expected to behave like this. Like I can question why my family, for example, let's say you have a family that's a certain way. I can question why my family is this way. Maybe they're not right on everything, you know, maybe they are flawed. Like seeing the flaws in the human beings that raised you. Maybe it wasn't even just your family, maybe it was like a school or a program or some kind of industry that you've been enmeshed in since you were an adolescent. Like, you see what I'm getting at? It's like formative, right? There's formative influences that you get to question now. And the reason why, it is something to do with flow and abundance here. I feel like you have a bit of a blockage in receiving gifts and approval and love from other people, because there has been, you know, some way that you have not approved of yourself. There's some way that you've been critiquing and criticizing yourself deep down. Now, there's so much that can, that is a whole lifelong journey in exploring that. So I don't mean to diminish it or make it seem like it's easy. I'm just going to sort of make a reference to it because I do think this reading is related. But that's not the whole message. The whole message here is really about how in this moment in time you have a gift or support, and it's incredible. It's amazing. It is not at all what you expected. You never thought you would get this kind of investment or interest or even, monetary support in your life. Like you never saw it coming, and yet it's here. And so the question is, why would you hesitate to take it, right? Those questions are what this message is about. It's important that you make space to examine your hesitation or your ambivalence and identify how you really feel about it, because this isn't to say that you should feel one way or another. I don't mean to say like you should leave at this, and I think I kind of made it sound like that. What I'm trying to say is that you yourself question, why aren't you leaping at this? Why aren't you just gung-ho 100% excited about this opportunity? So your inner voice is key here. Your inner voice, this Queen of Cups, like these emotional currents and these the intuitive messages you're getting, even if they're not very clear thoughts, you're still getting some kind of intuition here. And this is key. And this is what this message, what your guides are encouraging you to do. They're encouraging you to follow your intuition and identify what those feelings are about. Be courageous in that, because it is self-examination. It's also examining the past. It's examining feelings of the past, maybe even childhood memories. These things all deserve to be explored. And you will need courage to do that, because I think it is something that's a bit uncomfortable for you. Again, with the puppet, there is a sense that you've done things a bit that you don't feel like you really have control over. You felt like maybe there's other forces, like other people's opinions maybe, that have controlled the way you behave and act in the world. So that's why this is very key here, and that's why it's a breakthrough moment for you. It's related to the finances again, because the flow in your life, incoming, outgoing, all that flow, your guides want you to enjoy that process, and they see that you're kind of suffering a bit. You're kind of stressing about it more than you need to. So I do think that they're, really encouraging you to not just explore these memories or these feelings, but to have compassion for yourself. Like, be compassionate. You don't have to be one way or the other. You don't have to be perfect. Certainly, by all means, you do not have to be perfect. With the abundance card, there's a beautiful, beautiful depiction of abundance here. I love this conch shell, and I love this string. This looks like a string of pearls, right? And it's surrounded by the deep ocean blue. So this is about how abundance in life, the manifested, bounty and beauty in the world, it comes from within. It comes from the deep soul and the unconscious. Our unconscious self is a guide to exploring this divine, soulful aspect of reality, right? So I feel like spiritual exploration, psychological exploration, it's all going to be very supportive for you. It's all going to lead to actual outcomes in the real world that bring more abundance to you and also make you feel more abundant. It's not even so much about, being able to attract the abundance, but even just being able to feel abundant, being able to recognize the abundance in the world around you, and also being more generous yourself, being more capable of giving as well as receiving. The Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups shows, you know, you're incredibly sensitive. And I think that this shows more in relationships. It's probably harder for you to feel that compassion and sensitivity for yourself. But I think in relationships, you are a very nurturing, giving, sensitive soul. You know, I feel like you even mentor others. There's a mentorship thing I'm seeing here. So this breakthrough moment is, you know, wow, acrobats here, right? This breakthrough moment is going to liberate you. It's going to make you feel like just less limited, just like you can seize the opportunities that you were not jumping on before, because you feel like, what is stopping you, right? Someone's approval or some vague notion of someone's approval, like why would that stop you? So that is your message here today, pile 2. Receive all the things. So this means receive all the feelings, receive all the thoughts, you know, let it all arise to the surface, let it all come to your awareness, and, you know, let it flow through you. It doesn't have to be stuck in your consciousness by, you know, it doesn't have to be stuck as anxiety or as nagging thoughts or, you know, self-sabotaging thoughts, self-limiting beliefs. It doesn't have to be stuck that way. You can just let it flow to your awareness and then release it to, you know, to source. Just let it go. But I think what's important here is that you really participate in the flow of your life, of your subconscious, of your imagination, and that is key to how it appears in your life as money, as finances, as financial rewards, financial incentives, how it appears in your life as the acceptance of that financial support, you know, not judging yourself so harshly just because you're receiving financial support. You know, that's another way to look at it. Okay, pile 2. I hope this message was helpful for you. Take care. If this was helpful, please consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons, and I hope to see you at the next reading. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. You selected the card Easy Does It, which has a sloth, very cute sloth, hanging out here, just chilling. And I got some messages as I was shuffling. I feel like this reading could be for somebody who has been in a routine. You've developed a routine by choice, because you really want to get your life in order, or you want to grow, you want to strengthen your skills or solidify your finances, strengthen your finances. There's a goal you have, and you've been able to achieve this goal by simplifying your life, simplifying your routine, and also by enjoying the little things in life. You know, for example, you could have been someone who was buying just like designer bags, designer fashion, and you had this epiphany where you realized, like, okay, you know what, I have too much of this stuff and it's not really adding much value to my life. It's not adding the joy to my life that, you know, you've been making impulse buys, and then you realize, like, why am I doing this? So maybe you've changed in that regard, where you're no longer spending so much on like frivolous items. I also see it as someone who could be, this is another example, it could be somebody who's been eating out, or you've been going to a lot of a lot of parties, a lot of socializing, and you realize, like, you know what, I actually like staying home and cooking most of my meals, and I like, you know, reading books and watching TV. I don't need much. I don't need to go out all the time. So you're changing your routine on that level. Okay, there's so many ways to look at this, but I am getting a message about somebody who's just realized they need less to live on, or they need less in life to be happy, and so your routine has really been working for you. You're very satisfied with the results there. So let's see what the cards say here. These cards from the Osho Zen Tarot popped out. They really jumped out. So I think this is going to be a strong message here. Success. Yes. For sure. Wow. Someone riding a tiger. You must have felt like it was really hard at the beginning, and now you're seeing the results. Yes, flowering. This is the Queen of Pentacles. So we have the Six of Wands, and then now we have the Queen of Rainbows, otherwise known as the Queen of Pentacles. Beautiful, beautiful, wonderful energy. We see a lotus flower here. So really having this integrity, having this balance in your life, feeling like you are growing and developing and blossoming in the way you should, feeling like these things are coming naturally to you because they're aligned with your values, with your spiritual goals, your spiritual principles and beliefs. 8 of Swords, guilt. Okay, see, so we have quite a different energy there. That is a very vivid depiction. We're going to keep going and see what that 8 of Swords is about. The Tower. Yeah. Wow. I think that there's definitely, I feel like you dodged a bullet. I feel like you have some concern, and there's a message here that you have been able to avoid something that could have been very destructive. 8 of Cups. Yeah. You might be questioning your actions because you're like, oh, is it really going to be that bad? It's like, actually it was going to be that bad. Destiny path. Yeah. Resistance. Interesting. Okay, so you are going in a direction that's natural to you. And by doing this, you've avoided a destructive path here. Adventures. Interesting. Affluence. Fire above, sky below. What a beautiful card. We see an egg here. So we do see fertility here depicted with the egg and the sperm. And an eye right there. Interesting. I don't know if you can see that very clearly, but very like psychedelic depiction there of fertility. Ungrateful daughter and earthly mother. Interesting. I think there is definitely a specific storyline here that I'm picking up on. Green. Beautiful card to get from this oracle deck. Just gonna push everything up here. We have the 6 of Cups. Hopefully you're seeing all this. We have the Tower again. Okay, interesting. Right under adventures. We have the Knight of Cups. And we have the 8 of Wands. Okay. So another 8. We have a number of 8s. 8 of Swords, 8 of Cups, 8 of Wands. Let's see. Okay, I'm just going to gather my thoughts. I'm going to pause the video for a moment. Okay, wow, I got a number of messages, and it could be different readings for different people, but let me just, if I talk fast, I'm sorry. It's just because I'm trying to get it all out there. So, first message, I think that you could be somebody who has avoided a demise. You saw it coming. You saw a destructive end unfolding in your life. You know, you just saw your life headed in this direction, and you opted out. You really did. You just turned away from it. You're like, no, I don't want that. I'm going to change my ways, or I'm going to change, you know, who I surround myself with. You made an important choice to really follow what your inner self was calling for, right? Follow your destiny. You knew you were destined for something great and better than this, and so you said no. You turned away from it, and as a result, you're thriving. Now, as a result, you're thriving. You may still feel a bit of guilt, like a survivor's guilt, because you might feel like, oh, was I supposed to do more for the people who stayed on that path? Was I supposed to help? Was I supposed to bring them along with me? You know, that's that type of guilt, that type of responsibility. And the answer is no, you couldn't have. That was out of your control. With the tower situation, so see the tower showing up twice. With the tower situation, you cannot change the course of events. You just can't. You can only change your response to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that tower, whatever you saw coming, you couldn't have changed that. What you had to just do for yourself what you could only do for yourself. You can't change, and you couldn't have changed the outcome for other people. So don't hold on to this guilt anymore. Accept that life unfolded the way it did. That being said, there's also a message here about, you know, easy does it. You have found yourself in a great moment where you have everything you need, or you feel like safe, you feel secure, you feel stable, you feel you feel like you have a new adventure, you feel excitement again, passion for life. The easy does it card here is also showing that you don't need to pursue the heights and the peaks like you did before, or you know what I mean? Like it's this advice that take it day by day still. Don't assume that what you see today is how everything is going to stay, right? What I'm trying to say is, like, take it day by day. Consider this a learning experience. Don't be too, don't make any assumptions still. Don't project too far into the future based on what you're experiencing now. So this could be a really positive, great time for you. It could also maybe be like a meh time for you, right? Like it could be just sort of a okay time for you. But the point is that it's still a cycle. You're still in the middle of a cycle. Don't assume that you are finished with the cycle. Take it day by day. You know, the destiny path here is really showing that there's still a lot to come for you. Also, the adventures card, there's a lot of new experiences, a lot of new challenges. And I see where it is here in the center that I think you're still caught up in maybe some drama or other people's drama that is making it hard for you to get some separation. So it's still important to take it day by day and focus, ground your focus on what you can do, right? Not what someone else can do, and focus on what is truly your responsibility, not what is someone else's responsibility. The affluence card here shows that there's a lot of success either arriving or just around the corner. But with this other card, the ungrateful daughter and earthly mother, it's talking about how, you know, there's so much that appears to be, it's still like a phantasm. There's so much that people will tell us is, there's so much, like, what am I trying to say? There's so much smoke and mirrors still, you know, like maybe you're going to get a big paycheck soon, but maybe what your employer isn't telling you is that the taxes on that check is going to be insane, you know, like there's a lot that you don't know yet, and so you can't take for granted where you are right now. Still keep that balance in your life, still stay true to just what you need. Don't chase, you know, any pay attention to the BS around you. Keep your BS radar functioning, right? So it's like, that's the idea here, is that you shouldn't rest on your laurels, and you shouldn't just be too comfortable thinking that everything is going to be good for the indeterminate future. You still need to finish a cycle here, and even though you've grown a lot, you've succeeded a lot, it's still just one phase in a longer cycle here. So that's another message I'm getting. Easy does it though, right? Like the first card you pulled, the first card you selected is summing up the entire message here, because it's really about how you don't have to, or like it's really about how every day you only have so much to do or so much to give. You only have so much energy. So it's okay if today you only had the energy to do one or two things, right? Like you don't have to get everything done overnight. Stay in that routine, stay in that rhythm of caring for yourself, of making sure you're healthy, making sure you're surviving, and don't concern yourself too much with how other people are doing, because that's not going to be good for you. That's not going to have a good effect on you. There's a lot here. See, with the Knight of Cups and the Eight of Wands, I think that you're following a heart-centered path here, and you've been liberated in some way. On some level, you've been liberated and you've been free to follow this path. You've been free to leave behind some drama or some kind of even emotionally manipulative situation here. Maybe you're even leaving behind someone who is has not appreciated you the way you need to be appreciated. But what I'm seeing on the money front is that when it comes to money, like, you're only responsible for yourself. You know, you don't have to be guilted into supporting somebody who is not actually carrying their weight. You know, it's not actually someone who is supportive of you. These things have to be mutual, right? So I think that you're still in this cycle. You've done a big thing by making some choices here, making some choices to leave behind some people or a situation tied to, you know, relationships. You've made some important choices and you've changed your routine on that front. So now you're generating abundance. But the important thing here is to not get too ahead of yourself. You know, keep learning, stay humble, stay at this pace, right? Like, don't rush ahead. Perhaps there's money coming your way. Don't spend that money too quickly. Like, hold on to that money for a little bit. Really stretch it out and see. Be patient. See what you might need that money for, because there might be another Tower moment where you have an unexpected, you know, crisis maybe that you have to resolve. So that's what I see for you. A lot going on here with a lot of positive things going on here. I think what's key is that you have these adventures, you know, and I think you even have like some kind of love relationship that's tied into these adventures that will only open up for you, that only be like, you'll only be able to take advantage of that if you get these finances in order, if you let your routine stabilize some more and keep working on, you know, balancing those finances. So I see here with this card, what resistance means here is like, you see these changes, you know these changes have to be made, and instead of resisting the changes, you're empowered by that. You're empowered by the need to make changes. And you can see how all this affluence, all this abundance, all these adventures are going to be enabled by that. Okay, pile 3, that was your message for today. Hope that was helpful for you. If it was, please feel free to click the like and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you at the next reading. Take care.